The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the host/guest and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any of BXR entities and those they represent.
Oh, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Y'all know, like that old commercial. But what's up, y'all? It's Thursday, and y'all already know how we get down right here at 7 p.m. You are here on the You Better Live radio show with the Empress, ChasReal Lady Cake Mix. I got a guest for y'all tonight. Y'all know I love when someone comes through to help me talk to you. And you know it's always inspiration and motivation here. So we're going to get that show rolling with that. I got Frankie Jones here, but you know how I got to kick it off. You know we're going to have some what in the world. You know we're going to have some what in the what. Hopefully, when Frankie give y'all a whole spiel on what he's doing, what his business is, then we'll talk about all of that, right? But anyhow, today's topic for the show is when it all falls down. Yes, I decided on that topic because, baby, since the fall season has came in, shit has been falling down for me. But what do you do when you falling down, man? You just keep on getting up. Every time life show up, each and every day I wake up and I'm blessed with breath in my body, I'm going to just keep on living it. So if I can't do anything, y'all, I'm going to encourage you to do the same. A lot of times I share the test and everything that I'm going through because through all tests comes a testimony. So I know a lot of times people look at me, oh, Chas, they think they know me, think I don't go do nothing just because of the way probably that I handle stuff. But I tell you, y'all, it's the God in me. It's just that faith, just to keep on moving by faith and not by sight. So how we get it kicked off? You already know if you're a supporter and you've been here before, we gotta get that prayer in. Yes, all glory and honor is to God. So right now, Lord, I ask you to come right here on this radio station, oh Father God. Anybody who's listening or viewing, oh Father God, that is having any type of trouble, oh Father God, I ask that you right now lift them up, oh Father God. There's a lot going on in the land, oh Father God, but we know, oh Father God, that you are the man, that you, oh Father God, continue to keep us and bless us, oh Father God. A lot of death is occurring, Lord. A lot of turmoil, Lord, a lot of tragedy, oh Father God. A lot of times, Lord, we pray and people cry out to you and we get discouraged, Lord, because our prayers are not answered as we see fit. But that's the point, God. That's the glory that we know that you know all and you control all. And Lord, we just ask that you keep us faithful and you keep us grounded. Amen. 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 Yeah, that's what I was saying, y'all, because, you know, sometimes when you send them prayers out, we always think, you know, people want to say, oh, I'm blessed. It always, a lot of times, is in the form of money or something monetary or some type of possession, while people think that they are blessed. A lot of times people will pray, and just because it doesn't come to light as you saw fit, you know, people will start to question God. And it's okay, because God is God and God knows what questions you have, and that's who you go to. If you don't get answers from nobody, that's who you go to. So some people say don't question God, but I would second to say, if you got some questions, get down on your knees, stand up, talk to him, be whatever, open up that room to get the answers that you need. But in the meantime, keep on walking. Like I said, the title of the show is when it all falls down, it be falling down. So that was a little bit of my reasoning why I got my guest that's here tonight. My good brother, Frankie Jones. Frankie Jones, let me tell you, met Frankie Jones. I've known him a good 10, 15 years now from a company we was working for, advocating for youth and everything else like that. Always known him to be a businessman. He cuts my son's hair. I remember he was well known, a bomb for the $10 $10 joint, you know. Even when my son was gonna give me $10, I'd be like, man, he will give an extra 5, an extra 10. Frankie, I don't know if you always got it, but I did send him in there when he was a minor. But he just always been a businessman, you know. And when I'm talking about everything's falling down in my life, a lot of times, you know, what else, Black businesses here in Baltimore, things can fall down. We know the COVID came, presented a lot of challenges for everybody. I looked it up. I wanted to know how many Black-owned businesses approximately are in Baltimore City, and the number was like astounding, but not really. It was like 23,600 Black businesses, and I'm like, wow. So just always try to support your own and do everything else like that. It's always ironic to me how the government and, you know, all of these other entities that is supposed to support us, they give you a loan for that car, they give you a loan for that house, they give you them loans to get in the debt, but not them loans to excel. So I got Frankie Jones right here. I want him to definitely give y'all all of the business that's going on in his business. I already told you he a barber, but I think he only do calls or whatever. But Frankie, I know you also is in the real estate, some insurance things. What's up, Frankie? Oh, Frankie, you still muted. You got just like how I was.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Can you hear me now?
There you go. What's up, Frankie Jones?
What's going on?
What's going on, Frankie? So, Frankie, I already gave him a little bit of spiel about, you know, you being a barber, you know, how we came to meet and everything else like that. I know you always, you know, coming in and out of office sometimes and tell me a couple of business ventures and stuff that you were going on. I know you just came back on some business stuff. I know I always brag about your movie that you did, Child Support. I'm trying to tell everybody, if you ain't seen it, hilarious with the boy Frank Nitty. So what's going on with your businesses now, Franklin? What you all up to?
I'm not sure. Can you hear me? Am I clear?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm just always on the move, always looking for new ideas, new creativity. You know, I've been this way forever. So, right now, I still do the barbershop thing. I try to be more on a appointment basis now.
Right.
But cause that allow me to, you know, be able to move other ways.
Right.
Of course.
And where's that barbershop located? Because I know that you on an appointment basis, but there are other barbers in there, right? That's like it's full functioning daily, or they on appointments too.
No, it's functioning daily. When I say appointment based, you know, they can book me on the site, but I'm still in there throughout the day. So I take walk-ins, but I'm on Soul to Soul right there on North Avenue, 403 East North Avenue.
403 North Avenue, right there. I know the street I pulled on right there in Barkley, right?
Yeah, North and Barkley. Yep.
Yes. And Frankie definitely tighten you up. Frankie, like, you've been doing it for the longest. I remember also a couple of group homes back then was coming to you for the business. So you always been too about the youth, you know, and about the community and trying to big people up and everything else like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I opened up that shop. I was 23 years old. So basically, I was still a youth when I opened up the shop.
Wow.
You know?
23.
Yeah. I was 23 and I opened that shop up. I was working before I opened up the shop, I was working in Freedom Way Shopping Center. But I was there for like 2 years. But the shop that I'm at now, you know, that's where I was born and raised at. So it was like a dream to get something, you know, a barbershop from where you used to go to that's the barbershop I went to when I was little.
Right. Oh, in the same building?
Yeah, same barbershop. Yeah.
That's impressive. Yep. And the fact that you was 23 and had your barbering license and you're going in and do some things like that. So that's just encouragement in itself. 23, you know, you still young and fly. You still young and fly. We all us getting up there. I know you not too long ago celebrated your 40th as well. So okay, you got the barbershop since you was 23. So that's been existing for a while. How have you been able to handle like some challenges? Was it challenges when COVID came, or just been challenging period being a Black business owner in Baltimore City?
Oh, it was definitely a lot of challenges because again, I was young. That was my neighborhood where I was from, you know, so I still had all my homeboys, all my friends, you know, some of them not doing positive things, some doing negative things. So I had to, you know, balance with that. And that's before the gentrification came, before they, you know, got the negative out the hood. So you know how it was. It was terrible back then, especially
Right.
on North and Barkley. You know, so I've been there throughout that, seen a lot of things happen. As far as but for one thing, what I did when I made the haircuts $10. You know,
Right.
I basically looked out for a lot of people. It wasn't about the money, it was more about helping people. You know,
Right.
because you still had fathers that had 5 or 6 kids. They hate bringing their kids to the barbershop because they got to come to the barbershop and spend almost $100 just at the
Right.
barbershop. They ain't even ate no food yet. You
Okay.
know, so when I was doing the $10 haircuts, they was coming from everywhere. So I'm trying to tell the other barbers, like, look, y'all gonna have to speak. I mean, don't just do a rush job. Still be good with the cuts, but if you do $10 a haircut, they gonna come from they was coming from everywhere. So they was coming from out Cherry Hill, from out Westport, they was coming from Dundalk. So they was going past so many barbershops just to come here, you
Yeah.
know, and it'd be there standing in the rain, whatever I need, I'm not there. Well, we'll wait for you to come. And it got so crowded like that, but the other barbers couldn't understand that. You know, you do the $10 haircuts, you build your money up, and then go ahead and branch off with something else you want to do. You know,
Right.
instead of sitting there trying to charge $100 for a haircut, now you ain't nobody coming. You know, and that's
Right.
how. And I think throughout the little recessions or whatever you call it, I was still be able to stand it because you know I was $10. People still want to
Right.
look good, so damn $10. If you got $20 in your pocket, you're like, damn, I can get a haircut, I can get some gas, I can get a chicken box. You know what I'm saying? During that time, you
Yes.
know, yeah. So
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. My son was going to other barbers and stuff like that. And I think that was one of the biggest things when I mentioned, yeah, I got a barber and everything else like that. And now my oldest son won't let nobody else cut his hair. I don't even care if
right.
Frankie out of town, Frankie be out the country. He'll wait till he come back. He be like, I ain't let nobody else touch my head. So that definitely was a good business move, far as that $10. I know you still ain't charging $10 now though, right? And
No,
that's
I stopped, but I stopped, I stopped. But the mindset I got, I was going to do it again, but I just don't have the energy to because they're gonna come, and
yeah,
I be trying to do other things, so I don't want to be stuck in there. You know, I cut fast, but
yeah.
yeah, they had it for a long time. I gave them a nice little run with it.
Yeah, definitely a long run because that's exactly how I found out about it. A lot of people I was putting everybody on too. And
Right,
then also
right,
you had a lot of those group home, customers and stuff. So I know people was coming to them, but that definitely was a smart move. And how you was talking
right,
about the challenges and just trying to separate that business from personal, because I know that definitely was the challenge. You being young, you being from the neighborhood, everybody
right,
come trying to fun up in your spot, and you like, oh no, this business. Like, I can't
right,
keep
right,
doing that. So
right.
I see you were saying that you no longer do the $10 cuts, but your cuts is still what's up. So
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
yes, it's like he said right there on North Avenue in Berkeley, 404. You definitely got to holler at
403.
403. And you say you can
Yeah,
book on the website too?
yeah. If they go to the cut app, you know, they can find me on the cut app.
Okay. So get with them. But you say you stepping outside of that bar because you got some other things going on, right?
Right.
Can you?
So while I was in the barbershop, you know, I started I wrote my first book. Um and then from the books, you know, I did the films. So that's how I got into the entertainment side as far as writing. I always could write, you know, but I never thought about writing a book until I think one of my hairstylists wrote a book one time. And not to knock her, I never knock anybody creativity because all art is creativity and it take a lot of thinking and take a lot of, you know, creativity to do. So, but when I looked at the book, I'm like, damn, I can do this, you know, because I can always
Mhm.
write stories. I
Right.
just didn't know how to I just didn't know how to put a book together like the right way. Then I seen that book, but it wasn't like how I think a book should have been put together. So my god sister ran into a lady out Atlanta. Her name was Jackie Boatwright, and she helped people self-publish a book. So she gave me her card, and I talked to her, and from there it was history. You know, I gave her you know, everything she asked for. I wrote the book. I think the book was 300 pages. Um, Wrote my first book. I had book signings. I had book signings at every store, every mall in Baltimore. Had book signings in Atlanta. Um, um, I was doing a lot. I was selling a lot of books, and you know, the book kind of touched people from ages, I can say 10 to 12, that they shouldn't even been reading the book at that age, but they were, all the way to, I think the oldest person I knew who read the book was like 65.
What was the
And
name of the book?
the name of the book was called Family, Faith, and Money.
Okay.
And how I got that name, because I was cutting, I remember to this day, I was cutting somebody's hair years ago. This is probably back in 2005. I was cutting this guy hair. You know, he always, you know, speak wisdom to me when he come in the shop. And one day he said, man, if you take care of your family, you have faith, the money gonna come. Don't never chase the money. Just take care of your family and have faith, the money gonna come. When he told me that, it always stuck to me, you know, and that's what I always try to go by, and that's why I wanted to name the book, you know, and I created the whole story out of that. It's like an urban drama, but I put a lot of financial literacy inside of it, because a lot of us, you know, especially at that age, we wasn't reading like financial books, but we'd read an urban book.
Right.
So what I did was put the financial literacy inside of an urban book. So once they finished reading the book, then they start coming to me asking, is this real? How you do that? How you do that? So at least I was getting to some people that way, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Yep.
Frankie, that's definitely what's up. That's definitely some inspiration, some motivation. I spoke on me knowing you. I never knew about the book, but I did know about that movie. And just like I said, I remember you coming with the DVD. Yeah, I did my movie. I'm like, what, a movie? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you always come through, you're so humble. I was like, hey, Frank, you ain't say nothing about that. So I guess that's when you was working on it, just wrapped up in it. And I remember the day you was coming through with the DVDs, and I forgot, you know, you was selling whatever, and that always bring your way too. And I'm like, dang, Frankie, I ain't even got nothing on me. You like, man, that's nothing. I think you gave me a couple of copies. And I had gave a couple away to other people. And the first time I looked at it, I think I was on a road trip, going somewhere, one of the amusement parks. I put it on the bus. On a bus trip to Kings Dominion. Man, everybody loved it. They could not believe, like, oh my goodness, Chasey, you know him? Oh my goodness, he's from Baltimore. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And I'm like, yes. And that just was like my main point. Like, it's so much talent here, so much creativity here. You know, and on this show on my platform, you know, even with my name in the show, or You Better Live, you know what I'm saying? It's like things happen in life. And a lot of times, you know, once we get through it, stuff will be a memory. And that's why I like to share stuff and everything else like that, because like I be saying, through all the tests, it'd be a testimony. And like right now, what you're giving them is a testimony. So I will hope that anybody that is looking or, you know, are listening, like I said, and starting the show, like, yeah, Brother Frankie Jones did it. You can too. Like, you can do it too, but you got to stay at it though. It ain't nothing, you know, that's just a little bit how I was saying with me and staying discouraged. You know, I just now made a big move, you know what I mean? And financially, you know, I'm not where I need to be, because things was, and that was a little bit where it kept me complacent and stuck, because I was just so used to that stream of income coming. So even when it was things that I was against, or, you know, God kept talking to my spirit, like, Chase, you gotta move, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. You know, I just kept not following them and kept on not moving, because I allowed that fear and that comfortableness of just that money. You know what I'm saying? So it's not ironic, even that wisdom that you shared, that the other brother was sharing with you. Yeah, family, faith, money. And like, that's what I'm focusing on right now, taking care of my family, keeping my faith strong. And yeah, eventually the money will come. Because the truth be told, like I've been here before, and the reality is, even with that job and it coming consistently, I still had struggles. I still had roles. So a lot of times I feel like I know now that even all the bad things, everything happening for my good. You know, it makes you who you are and what you trying to, you know, who you supposed to be, what you supposed to give to the world. So a lot of times, you know, even your way of trying to give that financial literacy part to the world, you knowing that was something you probably didn't have, but you know, once you obtain that knowledge, you like, I want to share it, but is a little tricky on trying to get people to like, you know, without being
Right.
bored. So that was like genius. You know, you started with the $10 cuts, then you found a way to give some knowledge and some drama, what we all be trying to get into. So that's awesome, Frankie. You know, so that was one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on the show. That's what I'm going to continue to do. You know, to try to uplift people, let people know that it is possible. And you know, with so much negativity going on in the city, it's always good to be able to come somewhere, you know, and show some positive stuff. Because I'm telling y'all, Baltimore City has a black light. We know what's going on, but the black men alone, black women alone here in the city, you know, we get a bad rap. And even though, you know, we venture out and go to other cities to do stuff, to get stuff locked down or whatever, ultimately, you love your city. You love your city. You still represent it well. And, you know, it need to be more platforms sharing about, you know, people like you, the Frankie Jones. So, because like I said, like I always joke with you, when you become that millionaire, I can say, yeah, man, I had him on my show. To be business, you know, to think business and stay business minded and just to stay positive and keep going forward, even with the challenges. So we know you got the barbershop, you're an author, a director, a producer, you doing real estate and all that too, right, Frankie?
Right.
Everything. I remember you coming telling me that too. I'm getting my real estate license.
Right. So I did the real estate thing, you know. I started investing in property. So I started wholesaling real estate first. And then from wholesaling, I did the, you know, the flip and flip, I mean, the fix and flip. And then from there, I went and got my real estate license just so I can have more network and more tools, you know, as far as that field. Then from there, I went and got my insurance license, you know, life insurance license, then car insurance license. I did open up an Allstate. So I opened up an Allstate insurance company back in maybe 2 years ago. But I jumped right into that. I didn't really know how that worked. It was an opportunity that came and I jumped into it and I learned a lot from the time that we had it. I had it for maybe about 6 months, 7 months. But I just wasn't no office person. So it was hard for me to be in the office every day from 9 to 5, even though it was mine. It just was hard to do that. And plus the office was all the way in Bowie. So I would have to get up in the morning, drive all the way to Bowie. So that I kind of, you know, I learned a lot. You know, I would do it again, but I learned a lot from it. But back then, when it was time to do it, at that time, I wasn't ready for that.
Right.
You know, I'm more on the move. I'm more of hands-on on the move, trying to make things happen that way. But it definitely was a good opportunity, and I definitely would do it again.
Right, and that was for the car insurance.
Yeah, that was an Allstate. Yep, I opened up an Allstate insurance.
Oh, okay.
So that was for car insurance. Yeah, that was for car insurance. And now I do a lot of life insurance now because, you know, I cut hair in funeral homes sometimes. I cut a lot of hair when people pass away. And what I noticed, like, a lot of people don't have insurance. And it's like, it'd be sad when you sitting there cutting people's hair and the family's trying to get money together. You know, I never charge nobody to cut their family hair anyway. They be always trying to offer me money, but that's a sad situation. I don't want to take the money, you know. But it's a lot of people that don't have life insurance, and it'd be sad they gotta come up with all this money if they want to see their family member get buried. So, you know, I got my insurance license, so I'll be doing that. And plus I help like families that's trying to start an account or start some type of account or retirement or anything for their kids. Like if they got kids, I didn't know this before. You know, this insurance people taught me a lot of stuff. So anybody with a kid, they should have, it's called an IUL. You probably can look it up and get more input. I don't want to drag on about it, but an IUL just a insurance policy, and it's like a high interest savings account. So for example, let's say you got a kid, I'm gonna use a kid. You can do it for anybody, but just say you got a kid that's in elementary school. You can start putting $25, $30 away for that kid every month. By the time that kid 21, 22, or whatever, they'll be able to. They got their own money to do what they want. Start a business, go to college, you know, borrow from themselves. They can pay themselves back. You'll be done set your kid up, you know.
Right.
That's a lot of the things we didn't have that. You know, a lot of us didn't have that.
And a lot of things they don't tell you. Because in order to do that, is that type of account at normal banks?
No, it's not in normal banks.
Okay.
You know, normal banks gonna give you an interest rate at 0.22%. So, for example, if you leave $100 in the bank account right now, you might get 2 cents off of it.
Right.
You know, but if you put $100 in the IUL, you're gonna get $10 off of it, $5 to $10 off of it. So I'm only using $100. You know, but like I said, I don't want to get too technical. But by the time that kid is 20, they don't even have to be 25. They could be 30. You done set the kid up. You set them up.
Yes.
You know, and now if they want to start a business, they don't have to go try to get a business account and they keep getting denied. They got their own money now.
Right.
You know, so I've been sitting down with a lot of people showing them how to do that. You know, like I said, a lot of people didn't know about it. You know, I tell people look it up.
And I surely don't. I'm still looking for my sit down. We got somebody that's viewing Frankie. Dan, I'm guessing it's a brother Dan, and say Frankie is the realest. I guess because you spilling shoes right here, right? That's over in the comment box. I also got my son Najee saying, "Hey, mom, you know I'm always tuned in. Love you too, Naj. You see." That's your guy right there, Frankie. You know, Najee, Frankie. But yeah, we definitely gotta get that self sit down. What you just now spilled, never ever heard of it, and it just makes perfect sense. You know what I mean?
Right. And then a lot of people, you know, you can put more. A lot of people start with $100, $200. If a person put that kind of money, $200-300 in it, they spend that every month anyway. The way the interest is going to build, it's going to compound, so it's going to grow crazy. But when I say $25, sometimes I'll be doing that just for the people, just to get something started. You always can put more every month if you want, but at least it's $25. So if you have a good month next month, you want to put $100 in it, put $100. You know, but when it start growing and compounding over the years, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. But again, it's like we don't know this stuff. They don't teach us. If they might put it in a certain kind of book that we don't pick up, you know. But it's been there for years. It's been there for years. But it's like, wow, when I'm learning this stuff, I'm like, dang, you know. But yeah, so it's my job, you know, but especially by me having a barbershop and know a lot of people. I mean, I can't make people do anything. But the one thing they can't say is I always was able to try to show them, or if I go out here and spend thousands of dollars to learn something, I come back in the barbershop or whoever and give it to them for free. And a lot of people still don't take advantage of it. You know? But that's just how I am. People always tell me, you need to charge for this. You need to charge for that. No, I ain't got to charge for everything. You know, because the money gonna come. I'm more about helping people, you know, because the same way somebody helped me one day, you know.
Right. Yeah. I get that. That is a wonderful way to be. So when people want to get at you about that right there, what you was talking about, the life insurance and about how to start these accounts or whatever else like that, is it a site for that? Do you have your business is well, I ain't gonna say established because I know you do. You got a couple of businesses, but how can somebody get in contact with you about that?
Oh, they can just call my number. So with the insurance part, I work with I'm with Transamerica.
Okay.
I'm with Transamerica, but they can just call my phone, you know, 410-805-5043.
Okay. So y'all heard it. Dan, you on here? You said Frankie is the realest. Oh yes, he is.
What's that? Who's that? Dan who? What's his name?
I don't know. I just say Dan, but I'm glad he watching because he definitely is one of my supporters. But whatever you were saying, Dan Cohen.
Oh, that's my brother.
Hey,
that's my brother. Listen, when I talk about the movie things, my videos, my videos, that's one of the best cameramans ever right there.
He
shot my movie. He shot all my movies. So, like, that's my man. Like, I would never go nowhere, nobody else. I don't care if he stopped doing it, I probably wouldn't even do no more movies.
Wow.
If I do a movie, it got to be Dan. It got to be.
And then just even like I said, he shot that child support movie.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, see, and I was impressed. Like, that movie was really
Dan shot that.
It had me locked in the whole time. I could just remember, you know, because I done seen some movies that people consider to be bootleg or whatever, but it wasn't nothing that I saw. It just was like a movie. It was like a movie. That's why I say I was just like really impressed with that, Frankie.
I'll give one story about Dan real quick. So when I shot my first film, not child support, but my first one, Family, Faith, and Money, right? He didn't shoot that one. So the guys from Atlanta shot that one. But they was so whack, you know, that I found out later. Dan had to fix it. Dan had to be, he was the editor on it, so he had to fix it. We sat up and I had a deadline because I had a movie premiere. We sat up almost 24 hours straight editing that movie. We sat there in front of that computer for like 20, almost a whole day.
Wow.
Falling asleep, everything just to get it done. And he got it done, you know? But yeah. But all my music videos, everything, anything did with the camera, it was Dan.
Right.
You know?
And Dan, I hope you're still doing your thing as the cameraman, Dan the cameraman. So you hit us up in the chat, Dan. So share your information too, because we want to get you some business as well. How they can reach out to you. You know, everyone big thing here now is the music. So I know a lot of guys and stuff are shooting their music videos and everything else like that. And that's as far as like the movies and little like short films and stuff like that. I wanted to get into that as well. I know I've joked with you a couple of times, like, Frank, when you do your next movie, man, I better get a role, because I just was really, really impressed about that. So, you know, Frankie gave out his number, y'all. Hope y'all heard it. And if you didn't hear it, give it for him again, Frankie, because I know a lot of people going to want to be starting up them IULs, coming to get their haircut. He ain't charging $10 no more, but his haircut still what's up. He's always there, always ready. If you want to ask any question while he is on the line, because I'm ready to do a couple of what in the worlds and what in the what's, Frankie. You welcome to stay on here with me just to talk to me about it. But of course, I just want you to keep sharing more and more. Whatever you can do. You know, y'all can call in. The phone lines are open at 443-642-9403. So Dan, you was over there in the chat. Don't be shy. Call us up as well and ask us some questions. I'm telling y'all, while I got this light here and I got this blessing here, y'all better holler at them while I got them on here. I'm ready to go for a real quick break, but I'm gonna be right back. And when I come back, I'm gonna shoot out this what in the what. And this what in the world, gotta give y'all some updates on my girl Marilyn Mosby, all the stuff she's going through. Also about the police officer, Baltimore City police officer, who allegedly, well, he just got convicted, had killed his stepson back last year in July and stuffed them in the wall, y'all. Stuffed them in the wall. He just took an alpha plea, basically, you know, admittance to guilt, but just didn't want to go to trial. So we're going to talk about that. Get some more. I want to talk more about Black businesses, some of the challenges, because like I said, I want to know, Frankie, how did you do it all? Did you have to hustle to get your money and put it up? Or you had a bank that was willing to help you? Because I know they was fighting against you, Black man. So we're going to take a break. When my producer let me know that they ready, we're going to go out with a quick break. But then also, I encourage y'all, like that Emmett Till movie is ready to come out, because y'all know a couple of times on my commercials I be showing like the little the thing for, what is it called, like when they what they call that, Frankie, when they showing you the parts of the movie, but I was like a movie trailer, right? Like the trailer, right. Thank you, Dan. So thank you. So yeah, we gonna talk about that. That's probably gonna be on a commercial break. I don't know. You just never know. But you know, we're gonna talk about it all when I come back. Got my brother here, Frankie Jones, who you already know. Dan told you, I told you, is the realest. Why you got him on here? You better use him, y'all. Y'all better use him. Not use him, but utilize him, should I say. All right, you know, we right here on You Better Live, showing you how to live, because there's more to living life than dying. You already know. You better live. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
This was my boy, Emmett Till. I got a letter today from Auntie Lizzie. She said Bo's been working the fields. I can't imagine. Oh, he just doesn't understand how different things are in Mississippi. Are you listening?
Yes.
Be small down there.
Like this?
Emmett never thought anything would happen to him.
Meet the mommy, Simmy!
Ow. He just wanted to go on vacation and have fun with his cousins. But if my son could just get his feet back onto the Chicago soil, he'd be one happy kid. I don't know why I said that.
me about that boy?
They've come for you. It's hard to describe what a mother knows. The first thing I noticed when I became a mother was that my hands were busy all the time. My hand knew him with my eyes closed, just like I know his laughter in a crowded room. It's the same thing when you know all of someone. This was my boy, Emmett Till.
The body of Emmett Lewis Till has been found dead.
Can I at least just fix him up a bit?
No, they have to see it for themselves.
You tell me, Mamie, how is risking your life gonna help you?
Those pictures of your son change people's lives.
I can't look, baby. We have to. The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
Acceptable. I mean, his whole point of doing this was, and basically, I think, was in efforts to defend Donald Trump about the freedom of speech thing. But freedom of speech does come with a cost.
But that's what I was ready to say, though. But he was going to take it being free to tweet her away, because I was hearing it through the grapevine that he was just going to, close it down on that level, and you had to pay.
Yeah, because it's hate.
But yeah, it counts.
Well, this is a great question.
That was
to
the
go
end
to,
of Twitter.
I don't know anybody's opinion on this. I don't think I've ever even asked anybody their opinion on this. Is hate speech free speech?
No.
Right.
No, and that in many spaces is against the law. You can't do it. You can speak freely, but you also will accept those consequences.
Right.
Right.
So you can speak. You can say whatever you want to say. That in essence is free speech. But you're going to accept those consequences. If you call somebody a fag or anything about Jewish people,
threatening somebody,
you're getting canceled. So in some cases, it's considered hate speech, which is against the law. So depending on what state,
especially if it's coming off as a threat, or you bringing harm to somebody, or saying something so harmful that's going to cause somebody any type of.
But again, it has to be across the board, because who was that? Trump did that to two of the ladies that was.
Hey, y'all. Well, just like that, I'm back. I hope y'all ain't go nowhere, and I hope y'all came back with me on the You Better Live. Y'all better live for it. So again, Frankie, I gotta give a big shout out to you for joining me today. Like you said, you're a busy man. You always on the go. It looks like you're in the car now, but you took this moment to sit here with me, let us know what's going on about your business, and first and foremost, to inspire and motivate somebody to just keep on going when it all falls down. So just take a little bit break from that. But Frankie's still here with me. I had a couple of things I just had talked about in past shows that I wanted to give a little updates about. Y'all know I keep on about my girl Marilyn Mosby. Yes, y'all. Her trial is officially supposed to start March of next year, March 27th to be exact. It's been a lot of ups and downs. They still trying to, persecute this lady, allegedly for stealing her own money, lying on mortgage applications, as well as borrowing from her retirement fund, indicating that she had some financial woes with the COVID. They saying, no, that's not true. She wasn't supposed to test the money. She didn't get any penalties for doing so because of what she reported. with the COVID. And they said she bought some properties over in Florida that supposed to have been acting as a second home, but she had already signed a contract, actually with another company saying that it was going to be a rental property. But the last thing that I'm really hearing about that I wanted to update y'all on is the gag. Like, y'all already know they had put a gag order on Mrs. Mosby from a case about Kevin Daniels Jr. that got the brother here that was being charged. I think now it's like his 6th time. So recently, her attorney Bolden, made a comment after being notified that the trial would have this delay and wouldn't start until March because they was expecting to go on with the trial this September. And he made a comment outside the courtroom, and now the federal prosecutors are trying to gag order her attorney. I've never heard anything like that. So basically, they don't want him saying anything to any reporters coming in or going out of the courthouse. They're saying that his comments somehow can taint the jury and affect the outcome. But my whole thing is, and why it's just so crazy, I've never heard of that, of anybody trying to put a gag order on an attorney, a gag order being on a state's attorney. But nevertheless, hey, I guess that's the law, the laws of the land, especially with the federal prosecutors. But they did a poll in the federal prosecutors. I don't know where the poll was from or whatever else like that, but the attorney ran a poll there, and they already determined that 47% of the jury pools that they were looking for had already reported that they made up their mind. Now, they're not saying that they made up their mind either way if she was guilty or not guilty, but the fact that half of them who they are looking into act on her jury already made up their mind without hearing the case. And in my opinion, it doesn't have anything to do with comments that her attorney is making, but a lot of stuff that's coming out on the media, through the news, especially, Fox 45. I watch it. Everybody don't like it, but I like it because Fox 45 to me just be messy. I love the, not the messiness, but it's just like, they be on everything. They just be like in everybody daggone business. So that was another reason too why I wanted to open up this platform, because y'all know my motto: if it's your news, it should be our views. So that was just the latest, y'all. Keep on looking at it. Hope y'all still is supporting her, the ones that was supporting. We already know people is not supporting her, but the fact alone that she's a sister, yeah, because she's a sister, why not? Y'all be acting like y'all don't support people just because of who it is. But like I said, she ain't never did nothing wrong to me, I felt. Or for us, but I just felt like she was like one of those that was really for us. So yeah, now they trying to gag her attorney. Don't want him to say nothing about nothing to nobody. So that's a big gagger. That is really a big gagger. Also, we already know the disparities that came on through with the Squeegee boys is still a controversial subject. Everyone is saying that the mayor, everyone here is in city government is doing anything to address the problem. Y'all know this year, someone driving in traffic, I forget the guy's name right now in the morning, he was killed by a Squeegee boy after coming, spinning a block, exiting his vehicle with a bat to go, I guess, and confront them. One of the young brothers Tim Reynolds pulled the gun and killed Mr. Reynolds. So that youth right now is facing life, I believe, for that murder. You haven't really heard anything really much lately about it, so I don't know. But why I bring that up is because back in May of this year, and I know y'all never heard of it, y'all didn't hear it, so that's why I say reading is essential and everything. I'll say that. But back in May, a brother by the name of Samuel Dixon, 26, was just now arrested because back in May, he alleges that some Squeegee boys ran the Cash App scam and took $2,200 from his mother. This incident was supposed to happen up on Hillen Road. However, Mr. Dixon proceeded out Moravia and Sinclair Lane, picked up 3 young men that were out there squeegeeing, told the young men, presented the opportunity to them. But because I say essentially all of the Squeegee boys that I know, I've worked with a lot of them from the program that I used to work with, and just knowing them, like going through or whatever. Like I always have conversations with them, and I guess through the grace of God, because the way people be reporting it, they be having trouble with them. I never had any issues with them, but that's not the neglect and say nobody ever did. But I never had any issues with them. If I ever was there and there was issues going on, it was a lot of times always instigated by the driver. So I get it. You don't want somebody in your window, you don't want whatever, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And y'all already know they be getting real rowdy with these kids and everything else like that. But anyway, Mr. Dixon went up on Moravia and Sinclair Lane, made an offer to these young brothers and said, come on, I got offered them a couple of $100. I got some items for y'all to move. They got into the van with him, and he took them all week over the 2400 block of Emerson Avenue. When they exited the van, he began questioning them. Who did that to my mother? Who did that to my mother? And he shot and basically injured them badly. One of the young men was shot in the head. One of them was shot in the neck, and the third one had actually got to flee the scene. But they were cooperating with the police. And recently, he was just arrested because he was having a conversation with his brother, who was already in jail, and he talked about it. So I don't know why they weren't able to get him as a suspect with the witness cooperating and stuff prior, because this happened back up in May. Did you hear about it? I didn't. I mean, you know, a lot of times we're hearing about people getting shot in Baltimore City, and I'm sure if we heard about it, anybody getting shot up that way, we just probably thought it was something that just happens, how we just accept it as the norm here. But this incident happened in May, and then Mr. Dixon had a discussion with his brother so I guess the police was doing an investigation, and he let it out. He let it out that this is what he did. So yeah, now he's been arrested. He has 2 attempted murder, which names, one for kidnapping, and a slew of handgun violations. 26 years old. He was just arrested on 9/21 from this shooting that he did in May. My whole thing is, it happened on Hill Road. You went always somewhere else. Your mother told you it was 3 guys. You just picked 3 Squeegee boys, just took them and just killed them. Like, no logic to it at all, y'all. But yeah, you think I'm lying, look it up. But it definitely was like a what in the world to me. Also, and Frankie, did you hear about that?
I read it this morning.
You read it this morning. See? But I'm just saying prior, you know, it happened all the way back in May. I guess they probably didn't let nothing out because it was the investigation. But prior to you reading it this morning, did you hear anything?
No, light-skinned dude with braids.
Yes, light-skinned dude. That's the guy's Jamiel. I guess I'm pronouncing it right, but his last name is Dixon. I couldn't say that correctly. But I hadn't heard anything about it. So when I was reading it, I actually seen it a couple of weeks ago, probably when he first got arrested. I was like, wow, I want to talk about that because I hadn't heard anything about it. Also, if anybody heard about it, let me know because I ain't heard about it. But yeah, that's what's going on in Baltimore City. So yes, it's dangerous out there for the Squeegee boys as well as it is for the drivers. That's just my whole point in bringing that up. You know, we heard a lot that was out there about Mr. Reynolds and stuff when he was killed in the Squeegee boys, and they brought all of it to light. So I just was a little bit puzzled, like, damn, you know, 3 children, well, 2 getting shot, one of them getting away, but essentially, you know, they wasn't kidnapped, but somebody roll up on them, offer them some money, take them all the way across to the other side of town, shoot him in his backyard, and you hear nothing. You hear nothing about it. So that was just a little bit crazy to me. Yes, it was just like crazy. Hey, Shalina girl. Hey, Shalina is saying, hey, Frankie, it's a small world. Shalina Brown, she know you too.
What's up, Shalina?
Yeah, what's up, Shalina? Frankie said, what's up, Shalina? Also, one of the other topics that I wanted to bring up aside from that was happening with the Squeegee boys was about the police officer, Eric Banks Jr., who killed his stepson, 15-year-old Deshaun Jones, and after killing him, stuffed him in the wall upstairs. Basically, it supposed to have been some type of domestic dispute. The police came out. I guess they had like a welfare check to check on him. He had told them that the stepson had ran outside or out the back door, but gave them permission to check the home when they went upstairs in the upstairs part of the home. He was standing in front of a panel, they say. Then as soon as he moved, they went to, look further, and the young man was inside the damn wall, Frankie. 15 years old. 15 years old, and he was a Baltimore City police, Art Banks Jr. And he also was already on suspended leave with no pay for an incident prior to this. So he wasn't suspended because of these new charges. He was already on suspension and everything else like that. Of course, he was saying that he didn't do it. His attorney, Warren Brown, said his attorney said that if he was on the jury, that he certainly would convict him because, his actions was just questionable. He alleges, because the cause of death was asphyxiation, he alleges that he found the young man down in the basement where he had hung himself and panicked. But you brought him all the way up from the basement and put him upstairs in the room. And then this your stepson that you have been in his life. He was 15 when he transitioned, the young man, Deshaun Jones, and Art Banks Jr., I think was like 34, 36 or whatever when this first happened. So you've been in his life for about 10 years since he was 5. This is your stepson. And you found him downstairs, allegedly hung himself, and you ain't think to get him help. You ain't think to do CPR or nothing. You a police ain't think to do nothing. So yeah, he took the easy way out because he knew he was going to be convicted, and he probably followed, of course, some advice of Warren Brown because he took that alpha plea. And he's going to be in jail, I hope, for a while. I don't know when you're taking an alpha plea, how that does with sentencing. But I just thought that it was sad, a sad story. I remember one of my hood cousins, whose name is Art Banks as well, had put something on Facebook when it had first happened because he had people harassing him, thinking that he was the guy. He's like, that's not me. That's a police officer, whatever. I didn't kill my stepson. So that was just crazy. And when I seen the update on that today, I was like, okay, so he's going to be sentenced, I think, in December the 9th. And I'm going to keep my eye on that because I want to see what happens with that guy because that's crazy. You heard about that story, Frankie?
I ain't hear about that one. That's crazy.
Ain't hear about that one. Ain't that crazy? Yes. He was a Baltimore City police. Art Banks Jr. killed his stepson, 15 years old, Deshaun Jones. Killed him tragically, caused the death, asphyxiation, and he took that out for plea. Yeah, that's definitely crazy, Frankie. But you already know, Frankie, and working with children, when we was advocating and stuff for the youth and a lot of these families that we got connected to, we heard some crazy stuff.
Right.
You would be amazed. I mean, yes, we know about the things about murder and stuff. I know a couple of the young men Frankie worked with, unfortunately, were murdered, killed here. A couple of people that I worked with, whatever, were murdered here. But a lot of these young men, a lot of these young women, when you get connected to them and their families, like, oh my goodness, you be like, what? A lot of the stuff that they done been through, you be like, oh my goodness. Like, yeah, when it all falls down, but yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It is crazy. But if you still living and you still thriving, then I got my boy here, the man, the king, Frankie Jones, was letting us know about a couple of them good plugs that he knew, a couple of that information he knew. He said, what you said was the IUL, right?
Yeah, IULs.
IUL account. Look, I ain't forgot. I'm gonna remember those initials. So maybe you can just sit down because I definitely need to hear about that and know about that. And yeah, get me one. Get me a couple of them. I done messed up on Najee, but I still got my other younger baby, so maybe I can do something for them. And Najee your way too. Get them doing something. Because he's he a mama boy, but he a good guy. He definitely is a good young man or whatever else like that. I just gotta keep on pushing them, keep on pushing them. So do you got any new projects that you're working on? I know We shouted out Dan Cohen for being that awesome film guy. Y'all gotta holler at him if y'all need anything shot. Y'all already know. Trust the word of Frankie. Trust the word of Frankie. But you doing any movies? You think about?
So I'm doing. So I was in, I did about 3 books, 3 movies. So a couple years ago, they was telling me come to California. So I knew a few people that moved to California. They was telling me this is where I need to be. You need to be here. From all the stuff you do, you need to be in California. You need to be in California. But it was during the time my kids was growing up, And I was a basketball dad too. So my son been playing basketball since he was 4. So it's like, I'm gonna go to California and chase my dream, or be a father and be in their life every day. So it wasn't even nothing to think about. I had to put my stuff to the side, put my stuff to the side and make sure and help them, move on the path they gonna move on. So it was crazy about it because my daughter was in my first film. My daughter was 4 when I did my first film. So she was in every film I had. Then she went to the School of the Arts, the Twigs program. And then from the Twigs program, she got into the School of the Arts. So when she got into the School of the Arts for high school, she kept saying, when I graduate, I'm going to California, right? So she just graduated in acting, and her first year, college, she went in California. So that's what got me. That's why I was in California. So that's why I was in California for them couple of weeks. And when I was in California, as soon as I got there, I ain't go there to party, none of that stuff. I moved around. So I went to Sony, went to Warner Brothers, I went to Universal Studios. I'm going in there asking questions. Look, I'm trying to have my movie here. How can I do this? How can I do that? They sending me to this person, that person. I'm meeting real estate people there. So I'm out there moving. My homeboys call me, look, I go to a party tonight, but I ain't drinking, I ain't doing none of that. So I gotta get up in the morning, I gotta go over to this building. So me being out California was like a kid in the candy store because everything was like right on the street. You just walk in the buildings. So I got in touch with a few people. So I'm trying to make something happen over there. I'm trying to make something. I did get my barber's license over there. I got my barber's license over there. I got my real estate license. Well, I gotta take the test. I gotta go back out there and take the test to get that. But my main thing is focus on the entertainment. So they want you to have a representation. They want you to have this. They want you to have this. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. Just tell me what I got to do. I want to have a premiere the same way I had a premiere back in Baltimore. I want to have a premiere in LA. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm moving on now, trying to put that together. I'm gonna make it happen. I just gotta, keep talking to this person, talking to that person, but it's saying like it's happening. I just gotta keep it going.
That's right. Keep speaking.
So once I get my feet in the door,
it's certainly going.
So that was always like a dream. Right. That was always like a dream of mine. Whether it's 5 people there or it's 100 people, they don't matter. If I get there to do it, one of my dreams I always wanted to do was meet Master P, like sit down, have a meeting with Master P, sit down, have a meeting with 50 Cent, and just to do my movie in California at one of those studios, Sony, Warner Brothers, or Universal. So I sat down with Master P already, right? I haven't got the 50 yet. I haven't got the 50 yet, but I'm on my way to do the film out in LA. And it's like my daughter is the one that got me. And it's like my daughter the one that got me there. Me doing what I need to do with her, making sure she was out the way and came back around in circle and got me out there.
Okay, that part, because that's what I was already saying. Like, that's not just like something that happened miraculously that you wanted to go out and out California. But you chose your family and your faith over that money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, then it come full circle, and then you do it. I want to go to California, and then you out there. Yep. So guess what? Timing is everything. Timing is everything. I know it's gonna work out for you, Frank. I know it's gonna work out for you, and that's what hopefully I have my money up, come out there to that movie premiere. So do you already have the movie that you wanna showcase?
I've been watching the ones I did, but I think I'm gonna do Child Support, because that's more like that's a universal subject. It's funny, and is I think I'm gonna do that. So Dan, be ready, Dan. We going out there.
That's right. Dan, be ready. And guess what? And with all this stuff going on in the world, we need some laughter. Because it is a serious topic. It definitely is. You definitely looked at it from another notch to let them see a man what he going through, really, to try to address this. And and the whole thing was like, he was trying. He was really
Right.
trying, and like stuff just kept on happening. And I know that's so many brother stories right here when it comes to the show. So many people around the world really when it comes to that child support and trying, and then you got some stuff like that, and then facing going to jail. Like,
Right.
y'all gonna lock me up for not paying. I'm really not gonna be able to pay. So
Right.
it's like I said, yes, it's one of the best movies I ever seen. And it's not, I'm not saying that because you're one of the best people I ever met, like really, because you know that was like in the beginning of us, you know, getting to be acquaintances with each other. So when I say that, it's like I'm gonna keep on saying that I was blown away, like what? And I was showing it to everybody. I need another copy because now my copy is scratched. You know, I used to always say that, damn, fine, burn it to my damn computer or do something like that or whatever before it got messed up. But that's just a testament of how much I played that thing, man. Like I told you, it started on that King's Dominion bus trip. That was the first time, but I used to carry that thing in my carrying bag anywhere I was going. They say a movie, I was like, oh yeah, let's check this out right here. And when I tell you, everybody be cracking up, crying, laughing, like hell yeah, that's how it is or whatever else like that. Good, definitely good movie. So I can't wait to come out and LA.
And that was like my first. That was like my first, like the first film I wrote. It was like more of an urban drama, you know, street movie. The second one I wrote was like more surrounded around music and about people getting together and making something happen, teamwork. And then I wanted to challenge myself and see if I can write a comedy. So, you know, when I was writing it, because I don't really laugh at too much, it got to be funny for me to laugh. So when I was writing it, I was laughing. So I said it might be funny if I'm laughing at it. It might be funny. So when I had the premiere, you know, just sitting back, a whole theater full of people just sitting there laughing, it's like a wow moment. Like, wow, it's something that you created, you know what I'm saying, written down and is here and people just laughing. You know, I gotta try to move on to the next level, you know?
Yes. Yep. So you got those three. So there's more in store, right?
Yeah, I'm writing one now. I'm writing a short one now, and then I'm gonna write one surrounded by I'm gonna challenge myself again and write one surrounded by like the gospel, the church scene, the gospel. It's not gonna be a religion movie, nothing like that, but it's more surrounded by that, you know.
Something with a message. Something with a message.
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel about the child support movie. I mean, you know, even like we deem it as a comedy or whatever else like that, but it definitely had a message in there.
Yeah.
You the real aspects of like what people be going through their child support stuff. I remember it was a couple of conversations in there that the guy who played the father, Frankie, that was going through that the conversations he would have with his son or he would have with people or different guys, or you know how he just was looking at his life, reflecting life. So it definitely was some messages but it just was funny too. It was something to like look at and say, dang, that's really how it be going on, you know, like it's funny, but it, you know, it was true. It was true. It had a message in there, kind of what I was saying, because at the end, it kind of like all worked out. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that thing too, like a lot of things that we're getting to doing to try to address the problem, but then it gets us at other bull crap. So I remember that's how I was going in the story, but then it's like when his back was really against the wall and what nothing it could do is it's like it just all worked out for him. It just all worked out for him. Like so that's how people life, that's how life be life, and that's how it be happening. Guys, child support. I will never forget that movie. And it's like I said, I can't wait to come out in LA. And see it. Frankie did give up his phone number again. Shalina, before you join, because Shalina is a business owner as well. She's been on the show before with me. That's my homegirl, Frankie from Penguin and our pregnant days. So me and Shalina became friends when I got pregnant with Najee, and I was put out of all Baltimore City schools, and I had to go. I had to go to Penguin, yes. And me and Shalina was in there. We just baked out cookies, and we really clicked. And we've been good friends since then. My sister, good friend since then. Lately we get together, we hang out, go eat some sushi, together, and just talk, tell each other what's going through. But yes, I had Bronco on the show. She was telling a little bit of things about her business. I've been reaching out to other business owners because, like I said, there's a lot of people here that I know that's running business. And even for myself, I don't have no business, right? but this is my business right now, and I'm moving, you know what I'm saying? My faith and then my life, because I be like, I always was there supporting somebody got business or whatever, like, oh yeah, let me come do the whatever. Can drop some jewels, some information, whatever else like that. But for whatever reason, you know, I had some of the same reasons, not for whatever reason, but I had some of the same reasons. Me being a single mother, raising my children, I had to put a lot of things on the back burner. And just like I told you, just being comfortable and getting a bare minimum financially. But at that time, I'm like, whoa, it's helping me, so I can't do nothing, you know. So it was like I never stepped outside of it because I was like, no, I'm whatever. So when it came and I got this epitome, you know what I'm saying, and just praying and crying out to God, like, oh no, you gotta quit, you gotta get out of there. You've already turned 40 or whatever, right? I'm like, it's me in my own head. I'm like, what? Blah, blah, blah. And it just, I was getting flashbacks on like a lot of opportunities that was presented to me before. And I always, you know, shied away from them, or I would say I want this, or I want to do this, or have certain prayers. Like I said, and how I started the show, we had certain prayers and now connection with God or whatever else like that. And then we get discouraged because something won't happen the way we think it should happen, or it's not coming fast enough, or, you know, you can pray for something. God, please, I want this money, but God don't send you money. He may send you an issue that's going to direct you on how to make the money. You get what I'm saying? So that's what it was for me. I'm like, God, I know I need my own business. I need to do this. I need to do this. And all of a sudden, all these problems kept coming. I'm going to work. I'm like, what's going on? I ain't never had troubles like this. But I did before. And that was another time when God was trying to push me, like, yeah. So it's kind of like I came back to that same situation because I ain't learned from it and I ain't learned the lesson. So just like I said, even though I'm not where I need to be financially, I know God got me because now I'm moving the way He told me to move. And that's just all I can do is keep at it and keep on doing it, you know, even like some silly stuff. And now I want to, when I get on social media, I'll be like, I ain't doing that. And, you know, some days I wake up with ideas, man, I ain't saying, I got some inspiration. I be feeling down, man, I ain't saying that. God will push me, I swear to not. And no, you need to do that. I've been running around, frankly, doing this daggone Amazon flex. Like, shoot, at least I can do that to get a couple of dollars. Or what I'm gonna do? My bills coming or whatever. I say that. I lied to you not the other day. I was like, I woke up, it was in my spirit, like, you better not. That's not what you want to be doing. Do something, do this and do that, whatever. So I'm like, I mean, everything happened. Everything happened. I got a flat tire one time, the other time I went, my door wouldn't shut when I came. I'm like, what is going on? Then I rushed back out to the pickup location, right? Like, oh man, I just got to get this other one for the night. I get out there, man, I done lost my license. I've never lost my license. I'm like, wait a minute, I put my license back in my way. I'm like, you know what? Then my crazy tail, I'm like, I'm going to go back up there and look for it. I'm like, I better go in the house. Let me go in the house. Let me go in the house. And so for whatever reason, God wanted me to come in the house and prepare for my daggone show. I'm running all around and stuff. He's like, no, come on, prepare for your show. And I think that was one of the days that you reached out to me. And I'm like, yeah, I supposed to reach out to you, Frankie, because I didn't have the show last Thursday. The guy up in the sky, my producer, Monet, I keep teasing him like I was jet lagged because he was over in the DR on his vacay. And I supposed to have been there, and I supposed to have been there in December too. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there next year. I'm just still a little bit reserved about being vaxxed.
Right.
So I ain't got nowhere. You got vaxxed, Frankie?
No.
Oh my gosh. I can't bring myself. You know, I was laughing with him like, let me find out I'm really considering it just so I can go out of the country, right? I'm like, so I can go out of the country, but I cannot. I was even calling around the Walgreens and stuff like, y'all still, it's still on the popping. They still got it for you if you want it, but I'll be like, I can't. I can't. What's going on? Through the grace of God, He has kept me, has kept you about the vaccination. I did get schooled on it too by the producer, Mon. He said, yeah, these new strains keep coming out because of people like you that don't want to do that.
Right.
So I'm like, but yeah, that's a whole other story. But yeah, last Thursday, didn't have a show because he was there on that vacay. But it's like I said, it's not around it. I was like, when it all falls down that whole week, that I wasn't there. I was like, oh yeah, I could do this, I could do that. But it supposed to be other things that I was focusing on about my show. I was ready to say I'd be playing with them because usually the Wednesdays before the show, God be pushing me like, go on there, get some people some inspiration or whatever else like that. Even though I be talking and be all jumbled up, God already let me know, like when you be talking, people be paying attention. I need you to keep on talking. I need you to keep on giving me the glory. I need you to keep on telling people the test that you went through. I'm like, man, I don't want to keep coming telling people how I'm struggling and how I'm doing that. But that's the victory in it, though, because people will be watching you. But what God is trying to say is like, watch God. Because from watching me and seeing this just the start of the platform, when people see me all be up there, they're going to be like, oh, my God, yes, God, that part. Right. So I'm keep on going. I'm going to get a sit down with Frankie. Got to get into one of them business little ventures right there in front of me, but I definitely got to get that IUL. I definitely got to get that IUL for the baby. Definitely got to get that doing. But the guy, Dan Cohen, is that all he do? Did he got like and he's probably left the show already because I was trying to get a contact for him so people can reach out to him as well. And call them if they needed their services or whatever. But I also want to put your number over here in this chat too. 805, what it was, Frankie?
410-805-5043.
5043, y'all heard that? That's the man right there. That's Frankie Jones, the man. He can help you make some plans, especially for your children's future, and can give you a haircut too. Doing big things, traveling out there to California, came back to you, good brother. You where you need to be. Going out there to get that premiere. And I just know that it's going to happen. We're going to keep on speaking that definitely into existence. I had shared a couple of updates too about the Marilyn Mosby, and also about the guy, Mr. Dixon, who got locked up for shooting the Squeegee boys. We talked about Eric Banks Jr. and his alpha plea. But recently, what I also been knowing is that a lot of people, Baltimore City's been doing a lot of arrests lately for murders. Like I've been seeing that come across my little news tickers and stuff that I got on my apps on my phone, like really lately. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? They picking up, the arrest or whatever I said, because it's nobody that I know that be for that shit, Frankie. Not nobody. It's like, it'd be strange because I'll be like, who the fuck is it keep doing all this heavy dumb stuff?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's been a lot of arrests. They've been locking a lot of people up. So whatever it is, whoever they got new down here in this Baltimore City, some new detectives or whatever it is, they out. They out and they need to be on a vengeance. Because like I said, it breaks my heart every day. I actually stopped looking at the news because you just hear too much of it all the time. And I mean, aside from people dealing with other things, dying from sickness, rest in peace to my hood brother Pop, who just passed away, young brother. Don't know all of the details into his situation, but he just was dying. That's why I be like, it's more to life than just dying. A lot of people are losing their matriarchs, their family, their grandmothers. I'm talking about the old school. It's just sad. You know what I mean? I know a lot of friends who have lost children here in Baltimore City from gun violence. I know a lot of children's lives who have been lost while I was working with them. Came across their path or whatever, because I'm always reaching out to the youth, always reaching out to the kids. Every time I go to the corner store, I have a conversation. Like kids is like, that's that crazy lady. That don't say crazy lady. Like that's that lady keeping real with the red hair. You know what I mean? But I just have conversations with them. Even if I'm at a gas station and a young man, can I get $1, pump your gas or whatever? I always start a conversation. Why are you out here? Why are you in this school? Or what's going on? Or you gotta do, just have some type of conversation, because you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. And a lot of these kids and everything else like that, they just not in good, the environment is already crazy, but I'm talking about that home life just be really jacked up. Like you wouldn't believe it, like how they making it. Like straight up. Like straight up, I know we did things, when I was younger, Frankie, and I started doing things that was like, in the street or whatever. I didn't have to. My mother always had a good job. My mother was a nurse. My mother never had any issues with substance abuse or any of that. But a lot of my friends, mothers or their parents or guardians or whoever, was raising them did. And a lot of them was being raised by their grandparents, their grandmothers. So my mother was one of the mothers that kind of like adopted everybody. Everybody knew they could come to Miss Janet house and everything else like that. So I think a lot of me and my characteristics, that's why I am, you know what I mean? Because you just never know what somebody is going through. And a lot of times I just started conversations, gave people a ride home from the market, bless them in some type of way, you know what I mean? Because just like how you said, everything ain't about money all the time. And the true blessing is to be able to give when you ain't even really, you going through yourself, ain't even really got nothing, you know what I'm saying, for us financial, what I'm saying, because a lot of us think it's blessings, it's just financial and just, getting something or whatever like that. But I'll be blessed even when I can get in my old truck and go and see a lady and her baby out in the rain at the market, walking, did it the other day, and I was late going somewhere else. But when I told the person, like, oh yeah, I had to stop because this lady, dragging all these bags, and my truck was on E, my light was on, and all that other stuff. A couple of days later, I tried to set the truck. I looked, bam, found a couple of dollars I didn't even know I had. I was like, see, that because of what's your name. And I was already second guessing. I was like, man, I ain't got no gas. I don't know how far these people going or whatever. I'll say that. But they called me to do it. And that's why I say I encourage people when you're doing everything in your life, when you get that type of call, like that is work. When you feel that you do something, but don't you agree, Frankie? You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. You just gotta do it. So did you ever think that you would be going back to California like that?
No, I really didn't, because I really didn't. When my daughter said she wanted to go to school in California, that's my baby girl. So it's like I ain't really want her to go to no Florida. I mean, I ain't want her to go to no California, but I knew she was really into that acting, so I knew that's where she got to be, But that's what that was her number one choice. She got accepted to 15 schools, but California, it was one of her mind. That's what she wanted to go, So she out there, and now she got me out there.
Right. Yep. And already got something in her portfolio from being in movies since she was 4 years old. So when she becomes this big movie star, whatever, I was like that, wow, that story right there alone is powerful, that she'll be able to tell. Like, my father wanted to, and he put that, she'll tell that whole story. Like, that's amazing.
Right.
That's amazing. So yeah, she out there doing her thing, ready to be up in the big movies on the big screen. And is she in the child support movie?
Yeah, she in the child support. She in the part where because she was sick. She got sick one of the days that she had to do her parts, but she made it to one. I think she in 2 scenes in child support. When they was in the store, he came in there, and he was telling them that he gonna take them to King's Dominion. They wanted some money to go to the mall. So yeah, she in there. Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, she definitely gonna get it lit for you up there in California when you get your premiere. She's gonna be right now, right? You gotta come and see and I was in this movie a year ago. Yes, Shalina gave her a shout out, said congratulations to the baby girl. Yes, and Shalina, ain't that it just be inspiring to know people and know they're doing good.
Yeah, she definitely inspired me. She give me a lot of motivation, a lot of energy, that she don't even know it, Yep.
Right. And I'm sure she would say the same thing about you, Frank. I mean, we know a lot of times or whatever, or even how you and sharing all the things that, you've been doing and what's always been your thought to give back to the community. It's not always been about money and everything else to you. Whether someone took the seeds that you planted, when you bring the information back to the barbershop or whatever else like that, I know you will probably even be surprised. You couldn't even fathom all the people that you have impacted. you know, or
Right.
even thinking because of who you are that you probably didn't have the ability or whatever to, you know, impact somebody or whatever else like that. But just like I say, that movie and seeing you doing different things like this and just how you move has definitely truly been an inspiration to me, you know, and that's how I always be like, oh, you know, people is watching. They watching you, but you don't watch God. And I don't think that a lot of the connections that we get, you know, with people, whatever, I don't think none of that stuff happens miraculously. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We could be anywhere, we could be anywhere in the world. We're right here in Baltimore City. And you would just be amazed on a lot of the same ambitions that people share. When you getting to talk to people and different stuff, a lot of people have that same mindset. But a lot of the times the issue is that we don't be there, like supporting one another. Like we start off with the support, and then if somebody, you know how it is, then here comes the jellyfish.
Right.
Here comes the jellyfish, and here comes the Evites. You know, we talk about the envy, the jealousy, and all that other stuff. You know, everybody looked at everybody as competition, instead of that inspiration or that motivation. So yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, we gotta keep on going, keep on inspiring people. The people who supposed to catch on to it, they will. They will. Sometimes it's not always in that time either.
Right. Then
You
it's
know
like
what
it's like everybody got something in the back of their mind that they really want to do, but it's something that's stopping them.
Yeah.
Like whatever it might be, but it's something like everybody got something in their mind they want to do. I don't care how old he is or young. It's something they really want to do, but they just scared to do it or try it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I never been like that. I always just try whatever I want to do. I'm gonna try it. You know what I'm saying? And when I did that first movie, when I had a casting call, I didn't go to no art schools. I didn't go to no acting schools. I got people that a lot of people always wanted to act, but they didn't know how to do it, what to do. So when it came to the casting call, and I casted the people that I, you know, it was their first time. Most of it was their first time ever doing something like that. So a lot of it gave a lot of people. Some people kept going. Some people started writing books. Some people, and to this day, I got a girl who just moved to. Matter of fact, she just moved to California, maybe like 2 months ago, and she's still pursuing her acting because the first film that she was in was mine. You know.
Wow.
But there's a few of them, and like they were just so excited about, you know, doing it. And for me, I got more excitement off of seeing them. You know, once I read, I was just trying to write another one, but to see them interacting in it when I had the premiere, they did the red carpet, they got limos. That was the highlight. That someone was the highlight of their life. You know, they'd never do something like that again. You know, so that kind of shows that a lot of people do be having stuff that they really want to do, but they don't know how to do it, or they scared to try it, or they just don't have that support. If they tell somebody with small vision, like you can't have big vision talking to somebody with small vision. It's never going to work. They're going to discourage you. They're going to just find some type of excuse to shoot to you, you know. And then sometimes people it jump on you, and now you second guessing yourself, or I can't think that big, you know. So I tell everybody just think big. If you can't think, if it ain't too big for you to think, then you might as well even think. You know what I'm saying? Like we think every day anyway. So,
Frankie, you just running off my life, like how everything that I'm going through, everything I'm going right through right now, you know, and just trying to confide in some, you know, people that I consider friends or whatever like that. You know, they say, well, you shouldn't have gone, or you shouldn't have did this. Oh yeah, I told you. Oh, what is such and such? Oh yeah, I told you. And I think a little bit of it for me too is it's always been that focus part. Of focusing, you know, because a lot of times you want your hands and a lot of stuff. You want to do this, you want to do that. But for me, that's what it is. I have to learn how to. Now I know how to, but just to focus. Go with that one thing, and then if you got the time, then you can do that. And then also for me is because I'm always such a big supporter of somebody where when I don't feel like it's being reciprocated or when I'm doing things, it get me down. So it kind of like, oh, I don't need to be doing that. Or just like I said, the examples or whatever, like I be going through something and I be like, well, people know I went through this, or people know me to do this. So who am I to come and tell or give this inspiration, or you know what I'm saying, or give this word or whatever? But yeah, what you talking about? Say it again, Shalene. Say it again. But yeah, it be that support thing. Like when it don't get reciprocated or whatever else like that, it's like it shut me down. I be like, oh goodness, I ain't really what's your name or whatever I say that. But it's really, when you first starting off, it ain't really about nobody else.
Right.
It's really about you. You got to keep on showing up for you. You got to keep on showing up. Like that it's that part that I had to learn. Like you got to keep on showing up. And it's all good because once you keep showing up for yourself and things get to moving, all of the people that you was reaching out to support you, they gonna wish they did. In a way, they gonna wish you did. You know, people here don't support nothing until it's popular. Look, people on social media don't even want to like your posts until they got a couple of likes. Nobody wanted to be the first one to like it, you know, even with the challenges and stuff that went viral or different videos. I know people had it in mind. I should do this, but probably, you know, no, I ain't gonna do that. And then they see somebody. I just seen an idea, a business idea I had. And I was like, oh my goodness. But it was a confirmation for me though, Frankie. It was a confirmation from God. It was like, see, that's why when them thoughts that you have, you gotta move on them. You gotta just start moving and start doing them. I had an idea to start a thing about a hot dog thing called Crazy Dogs. And I wanted to do it with hot dogs with any topping you want. Like, oh yeah, when they come, any type of cotton. Man, I look on the news, 2 white girls, they done started this shit out. Out in the county somewhere. I was like, and look, Frankie, I was looking at it hard too, like, because I remember sharing it with people and stuff, you know. So, you know, and I had lived in the county, you know, I got white friends, I got white family, whatever. So when it came on, I'm like listening, because I got to listen to the news. So when it came on, I hear, and I come out the restaurant, I go look at the TV, I said, it better not be nobody I know. I swear to God, they stole my business. But their business is really thriving. I forgot the name of theirs or whatever else like that, but it's really thriving. But that just was to say, like, yeah, man, you could have did that. You could have been did that. And just like with other things too, like sometimes businesses or people that I know are into certain things, I'm like, no, I ain't gonna do that. Because I just have like that type of that personality where, you know, when I come, I'm noticed, right? So I'll be like, damn, they selling this, and no, I don't want to do that now. Because then they gonna say that I'm doing this and doing that. But I seen something, and it's so true. The paper towel company don't think like that. The toilet paper company don't think like that. The motherfucker who, if they would have made one bar of soap, and then the person say, well, I ain't making no soap because they make soap. None of them would have that business. None of them would. Just like how you said you ventured into the insurance. You ain't know nothing really about it, but you took it and you took the opportunity. You ain't learning about who was selling this, who was selling that, about the real estate, how many people in the bar was. I don't care who was doing this, who was doing that. I remember even being younger too. I said that I wanted to be a barber. I used to have all ideas like, oh yeah, because guys like how women cater to them. I'm gonna have all women barbers. You know, I used to have all women barbers when you come. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cater and all this and stuff. And then I'm gonna do stuff for bachelor parties and groom. Never moved on the idea. Same way I never moved on the Crazy Doug ideas. But I was gonna call it Crazy Bitches, but it was for crazy for the hot dogs. I'm saying I was gonna call it crazy because I'm like, whatever you want on that, we're gonna give it to you. Nacho hot dogs or whatever. But yeah, somebody got it. Don't mean I still ain't gonna do it. Because I am pushing.
You killed with that.
Yes, and I'm still pushing. And I'm still pushing. Like next year, I said this, like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have me a storefront. I'm gonna be doing something, I'm gonna be doing everything out of there. Spoken word, a building or something. I remember having ideas about that too. Remembering back when I was a teenager and people ain't had places and stuff to have parties, or people was like told to clean up at the house parties. I used to say that, damn, if I can get a building, damn, what if I can get a club? Or let people come and have that stuff here. Look how many people got spaces now. Catering halls and little rooms and all of that. Like people really do need a place to have a place to go. So if the thought comes to mind, work on it and do it. I'm looking for American Sign Language courses and all that now. And I'm supposed to be ready to start school for that. I want to be a sign language interpreter. Yeah, that's one of my goals too. Like, shoot, I want to get on there and do that. I had the thought when I was like in the poetry and doing the hip hop. I'm still always gonna be. That's just one of my many gifts and talents. But I got another confirmation from that because then I started seeing all these people, all the interpreters at the rap concerts. or doing what's your name? I'm like, yo, oh my goodness. And that's been many years ago when I used to say that I wanted to do that. And that's what I was going to market myself to. Like,
Right.
oh, y'all got people that come, you know, because I grew up with an uncle that's deaf and mute. And probably like my uncle Abba Dabba, well known in East Baltimore, having some issues with his health right now, up in the nursing home for some few years now. But I remember when his health issues first started and he was in an emergency room, like the support for the hearing impaired and everything, it was like that, like it was like none for real. They had a hard time communicating with him, knowing him, you know, aside from when we come up there and get him information. But I remember they had ordered like an interpreter for him, and it was this older lady, and she just was telling me, like, yeah, I'll take a vacation once a month. I only work about a day or two a week if I want to. She like, yeah, because a lot of times I just gotta sit here and when they have a little question, you know, I just gotta confirm or whatever what he said and, you know, do the translate. Then she was saying that she was doing it in the courts. You know, she might sign up for an 8-hour day, but it's not that many, you know, people that she had to assist. That's, you know, hearing impaired. So she would be there for an hour and make almost $1,000. You know, different little stories she was telling me. So even back then, she had given me the information. What I did, drag my feet, can't go to school, blah, 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 blah. Now it's a whole different requirement level, Frankie.
Right.
And you have to get a degree and all that from that fool who did that stuff at the Obama inauguration. Was on there talking all that mess, just going and going, wanting saying nothing. I was like, you gotta be crazy to do something.
Yeah, you definitely got to move on it. Definitely got to move on your ideas.
Yeah, I definitely got to move with it. And people like you around my life, Shalene Brown around my life, the Good Morning, the producer who I have adopted as a mentor, people like that continue to speak life, that's already doing their thing business-wise and whatever else like that. I don't take it lightly. I don't think that, you know, I got acquainted or connected with y'all people for no reason at all. So the same way that I try to inspire, encourage everybody and stuff like that, y'all do that for me. You know what I'm saying? And I thank God that he has blessed me to know people and have love for people that have a lot of that same, you know, ambition, that same push, that same God. And if anything, can just understand where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? That's just like the biggest thing. Because, you know, people be acting like they don't go through nothing, Frankie. People act like they don't go through nothing. And then people act like if you strong, you can't go through nothing. And sometimes people just be needing you to listen, leading you to hear them out and just understand where they coming from, even if you don't agree all the time or whatever else like that. So I always been that good listener. You know, stuff in my life, I guess that just always put me on that level to understand. Like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? And listen to people and to understand where they coming from. Because I'm like, how you not like that's the biggest thing. Like, I know I ain't the only one going through this. I know I ain't the only one that is can't be. And a lot of times one of the practices that I tried to start, you know, as far as like with financial stuff, I started saying that too, to get better with my money. Say, if I'm going, I can't buy twice. So that I save my money and put money up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? If I can't go with anything, and I do that with anything. If I go to get me a car, if I go buy me a TV or whatever, no matter what is going on, my TV can go up tomorrow, but I ain't gonna go buy it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It may be on sale, $400. So that's a good deal, right? And then I look at myself like, damn, well, can I go buy it twice? And if I ain't got one for that, then to me, I don't need it right now.
Right.
That's just my want. And so that had helped me a lot, you know, financially and my financial growth and just learning how to not just like overly spend. I don't be trying to be balling out because I ain't got to be balling out, but that helped me as well as my thinking process. So every time a negative thought come in or something negative, I can think about 3 positives.
Right.
Real fast. They can prevent that. That's kind of like finding the silver lining in your situation, whatever you're going through, like real fast. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a disparity, like, dang, I ain't even had what's your name to pay my rent, but I still got this roof over my head. I'm still on right here. This is still going on. Yeah, you're gonna be good. Keep it moving. So it's like it's easier for me now because I don't stay there. I don't stay there. It's not to say that you're not gonna go do stuff, you're not gonna feel a certain way, but I try my damnedest not to stay there. And what I have realized is a lot of times when I don't had that thought process, or I try to stay there like in my past, you know, beat myself down when I'm feeling down. It always was something. Direct message, BRB. I don't know. It's for me. Oh, okay. I see it. I see it, Marty. You need me to go. Oh, he was today. I was like, hold on. See, Frank, I got my little laptop on the side. I got my little setup right here that's going on. So I'll be like, I'm back and forth. I try to do my little stuff because, you know, I bring it to you, like I said, your news, our views. So I try to do my research, try to know a little bit about, you know, what I'm talking about. Try not to let it be too repetitive. But everything I'm talking is life. It's real life. And you better live. That's all I'm saying. Everything I bring in, you better live. So I had my awesome guest with me today, y'all. Frankie Jones, that took that time out of his busy schedule to come and let me know the business, what's going on with him. Y'all gotta holler at him. I put his phone number in those chats, 410-805-5043. Thank y'all to the guests, everybody who has commented thus far. You know, the lines is open the whole show. Y'all ain't calling, talk to me and Frankie. What's up with that? You know the number still is 443-642-9403. We still here for a little bit more time. Yes, we is. We still here for a little bit more time. I ran off a little bit my what in the world's, my what in the what's. Usually I like to go encourage y'all, send me y'all topics. Send me anything that y'all need clarity on, because we're gonna get to know and we're gonna get to grow right here together on the You Better Live reality, the reality show. This is the reality show. I say radio, but you watching. So just to share that type of information with y'all, get y'all my updates to what and what. I did get a couple of inquiries in my inbox, and what I like on the inbox is I ask people, Frankie, this is how it goes. I ask people. They can send me any type of question or situation that they may be going through, and they just want the public opinion or want some insight on what they should be doing. You know, they do it on radio shows, different little stuff, or like what's going on. So I'm gonna break it down because I do got it written down on this little one. Now the person didn't want their name shared. They didn't want none of that. That's another thing too, Frankie. How I keep it with your name. You can stay anonymous. Hopefully they are watching. Hopefully they go back, because the taping of the show does get pasted to Facebook, as well as on my timeline, and as well goes to YouTube. So sister, brother, because I can't say sister, brother. Or say your name or whatever. I'll say that. That's how I got caught up. But I'm gonna get your question on here. And then when I get your question on here, you can listen. Frankie gonna give you a little bit of advice or whatever, because he got kids too. So it's a kid type of question. It's crazy too, because I reported on the thing about the stepson. But it is a brother. I can say it's a brother to put it more into the complex. Brother reached out to me. He has been in his stepchildren's lives for a while, but he gets slack from his wife every time he wants to do something for his biological children. And he definitely put that in quotes, because he said that as his stepchildren, you know, he look at them as his children. They've been together in a while, and his children, all of them is their children, but his wife, you know, she does up that biological children. He can do whatever in the world he has to do for his stepchildren, but then when it comes to his biological children, or even extending some extra support to the mother of his children, is a problem. So the brother wrote a couple of paragraphs, and basically all he was saying is that if his child good, he good. You know, if the mother good, then the child good. That's where the child stays at. He was basically saying, no, I don't want to pay her bills, but every now and then, you know, he made those notes too. She never took him to child support because he always was there. So he didn't pay child support. So it wasn't how it was in that movie. And I'm trying to think of some other stuff he was saying in there. He never paid child support, so she didn't take it on child support. So basically, whenever she reach out, she may say, hey, I need $300, my gas and electric and stuff. So it might not necessarily as his wife thinks it's for the child, but she got a problem with that. She got a problem with that. He can buy as many shoes or whatever of his stepchildren. He was saying children, all that they want. But as soon as his biological, so his attitude is that all these my kids. All these my kids. That's still my family. I don't mess with her no more, but she still has my child over here. And I gotta make sure she good, so he good. You feel me? But I guess he was at a wishing because he said he don't know what to do. He said his attitude is kind of going where he don't even want to do nothing. She got him feeling like he don't want to do nothing for the stepchildren because she don't want to do nothing for his biological children. So I don't know. What advice could I give a good brother? I don't see he wrong. I don't see he wrong. What you think, Frankie?
I mean, he definitely not wrong, but I don't like to get into that. It's something she dealing with. Because me, like I say, I'm all about family. I'm all about family. So if I was in that position, I'm gonna make sure they good too. You know what I'm saying? Right. Especially if she know, if she trust them and know there ain't nothing going on, I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure they good. I ain't saying I'm gonna go over there and pay, like you said, I ain't gonna say I'm gonna go over there and pay all the bills all the time, but I gotta make sure she had my kid. Right. And she ain't take me no child support. We ain't nothing going on crazy. We don't be beefing and none of that. Come on now, why not?
Right. And that's the especially same thing that I say to the brother, like,
especially if I'm doing something for not even for her kids. I treat her kids like they my kids. Like, it shouldn't be no problem, but that's something she dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
It definitely got to be something that she's dealing with.
Yeah.
And yes, brother, I hope you watching. Hopefully she'll get more comfortable with whatever situation. From what you're saying is that y'all been together for a while. It's great that you take on that responsibility to care for her children the same as you care for yours.
Yes.
I guess what he was asking, because him, giving money or financial support that the wife doesn't really necessarily think it's supporting the child. So I guess he was questioning that. I guess asking me as a woman, like, is that right? Or would you feel like that? I wouldn't have any problem with it. I wouldn't have no problem with it. So I second what Frankie is saying, is that obviously, I don't know y'all relationship. If it's some cheating in the past, or she think that you still want your baby mother, or whatever else the case. But if that's your husband, he taking care of the kids, he paying your bills, girl, you better leave that boy alone for that $300 that he want to give his baby mother about a daggone light bill when his son over there. Right. He let the lights get cut out when his son over there, or if his son wants shoes or anything else like that. Why it gotta be questionable? But it's not questionable when you're like, it don't matter. It don't matter. Oh yeah, he was in there going in like, yeah, and she'll know, and I guess he'll have discussions with her and letting them know what he doing or whatever else like that, and then it's always a problem. So, brother, you heard it from the Empress ChasReal, Lady Kate Mix. You also heard it from Frankie Jones. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Look, he did the movie Child Support, and you gotta check it out, good brother. If you looking, if you see what Frankie was going through, God bless you that you was not on child support. You ain't have those type of issues. But yeah, any type of support, seriously, that you giving to your baby mother is some support to the child. I really do see it like that. You know what I'm saying? They ain't like she calling you every month, pay my rent, do this, do that, or in a hardship. You know what I mean? Where because he was saying that too, that the woman was like, well, if her lights could go, your son can come over here.
No, then he got his son. And then he got his son looking. Then he got his son growing up looking at that, like, damn, my father not here, but when I call him, when my mother call him, he come over here, and help us. Yeah. He comes, so that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever want to be like calling daddy to come help us, and he over there with them kids, and not even come with, you know what I'm saying? You don't ever want no kid to grow up like that.
Right. Right. Yeah. And so many of them are.
Right.
And so many of them are, and I hear brothers complain about everything, aside from having to pay child support. I be hearing brothers complain about picking their children up from school or taking them to school. Like, some of them really don't understand. A lot of times I speak from places being a single mother of 3,
Right.
all about the same did be at that. But I speak from the place where, like, yeah, it be a lot into it. Them school drop-offs, them school pickups, them doctor appointments, and all that other stuff. So if you're not an active father like that, or an active parent like that, you would not understand that for real.
Mm-hmm.
You would not understand that shit for real. So some people think that their form of parenting is just buying the kids something, you know what I mean, coming all the time or whatever, gifts or whatever. But a real parent understands like that type of shit, like how you said, going to the school, helping them through the process, going up there to college, you know what I'm saying, doing little stuff like that. There's a lot of fathers out here and mothers that ain't even did that half of that.
Right.
Don't do nothing about no school. That's how I be saying sometimes too, when I be seeing all these kids and stuff on these bus stops. I know a lot of people is not blessed to have cars and driving stuff like that, but it's no way. If my children had to get on the bus, I'd definitely be out there standing with them.
Right.
I'm not around, get on the bus with them, catch it to school and come back. Like, it be little kids, Frankie, like little.
Yeah, I see. I know.
Like little, like elementary school. I be like, man, they let that kid smoke. Over down here by themselves.
Right.
Kids walk over down here by themselves. Like little.
It's crazy. It's crazy because we used to walk. We used to be those little kids. We ain't saying like we was little though. We was little as shit, walking in the snow, walking everywhere to go to school. But like you say, like my kids ain't never they never caught a bus their whole school career, you know, because I always take them to school, pick them up, take them to school, pick them up, because I was looking at it the same way. Like, I ain't let my kids walking out and catching those buses out here with all this shit going on like this.
Yes, you know and that's why I say I feel like an official old head, because a lot of those things that my elders used to be saying, I feel sorry for y'all. Y'all can't do nothing. Y'all can't be. It's sad out here. I be saying a lot of those things. Like, oh my goodness, I'm officially a daggone old head. I'm an auntie. Aside from my you know, when you was younger, you was cuz. Then when you start getting older, you aunt and auntie.
Yep.
You aunt and auntie. So I am definitely an auntie. But yeah, I know a lot of people is not blessed to be able to drive or have that transportation, but I definitely would be on a bus stop with them, because, oh my goodness. And yes, we were them same children, but stuff wasn't like how it was now. You know, even not just like on the street, far as like the crime and everything else like that. I'm talking about us like far as like the neighborhood foundation.
Right. Yeah.
That fundamental, like having those neighbors and like them mamas in the community where other people could discipline your children, or, you know, look out for your kids and different stuff like that. So whether I was walking by myself or not, it still was every corner I hit. It was somebody still looking out for me that knew my grandmother, that knew my mother, that knew somebody, you know. I couldn't be nowhere. And I remember being a kid, somebody said, your mother know you up here? Your grandmother know you up here? Like, we had that type of, you know, type of blessings back then. And like right now, a lot of that stuff is like non-existent. That's what they were saying. We ain't got them type of big mamas and them people in the community no more that, you know, used to do stuff like that. You can't halfway say nothing.
Right.
You know, by kids or tell anybody about their kids for the most part. And they be knowing their kids. Be knowing their kids doing wrong. But they don't want to hear that. So it was definitely different. But I do remember them elders and them people that I consider old heads telling me that. Like, y'all can't do nothing. You know, while we hanging out, don't be out there late like that. Man, we used to be outside. Late night. But yeah, it's a whole bunch now going on. It's a whole bunch going on. Not only far as that, but just even them drugs that's out here. I think I talk about that every show. These pills. It's so sad. It's so sad. Every time I ride through here, North Avenue, Pennsylvania Avenue, Monument Street, you know, any neighborhoods that I frequent, and I see all these young people just strung out on pills. A lot of them had moved on to doing, you know, even harder, whatever else like that. But if you popping them pills like that, heroin definitely is your next step.
Right.
It definitely is, because that's what it gives you, like a dope thing for real. And it's just crazy because a couple of young men that I worked with before, I see them high as a kite.
Yep.
Acting like they not high as a kite. Look older than me, Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
Looking older, and then they outside trying to hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Telling me that they just got out.
Mm-hmm.
And jail. I'm like, you halfway got your eyes open. I'm surprised you knew who I was.
Yep.
So I still be keeping them real with it, but that is definitely an epidemic too. Here in our city, I have been hearing some talks about them. I'm talking more and more about legalizing marijuana. I know a lot of people are against that because they still look at it as just drug use and they don't see how it can help or whatever else like that. But yeah, they trying to demolish the cartels. They trying to get that under the table money up the front money for the state.
Right.
And they think it'll bring a whole bunch of money to the state. I'm saying, I hear Biden is thinking to give people pardons that have, lower marijuana charges. I mean, the time is now. I know they make laws, back in time, they made people grow it. You know what I'm saying? And to me, alcohol is more harmful.
Right.
That marijuana can ever be like, I've never known anybody did nothing violent or nothing off of the influence of marijuana.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never known nobody to steal from nobody. Even if they was streaming, I never know nobody steal from nobody to get it. Rob nobody. None of that. I mean, stuff is happening. People robbing people. I ain't gonna say that. Back in the day, you already know that. Stick up boys and all that other stuff, robbing the weed boys. But what I'm saying is that most situations that I see and they get out of hand, they be from that liquor. Mm-hmm. They be from them spirits. And now in our community, it be them pills. They so far detached from their emotions, they don't care about nothing.
Right.
They don't care about nothing at all. Frankie, can you believe you've been here almost talking to me for 2 hours? We had a good discussion, brother. I want you right now to take this opportunity to share any other words of encouragement that you have. Like I told you guys, this is Frankie Jones. I met him working in a youth organization with him, advocating for kids down in the DGS. You still doing that, right, Frankie?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Yeah, you still doing it. A little bit. Man that wears many hats. Frankie the barber got his barbershop that he started when he was 23 up on North Avenue in Barkley. Can't miss it. Holler him about that, but he gave his phone number out. 410-805-5043. Holler at him. He's on that insurance, on that real estate, all of that stuff. And guess what? Information that he learned, he shares it. He's the author, director, producer, all of that. He shares it. So get with him, guys. Get with him. I'm gonna have to have you back again too, Frankie.
Anytime.
Anytime. I definitely appreciate you. Now get my girl Shalina back too. She said it's a small world. Maybe I can bring y'all on together. I also have plans to bring my sister on here too, Lakeisha White. Keisha, when many had still doing her daggone thing. I wanted to bring her on because she has the exotic, the Peach Lady exotic mixes, exotic drinks. And she had like some fall flavors and all that stuff to simmer you down. So I wanted her to bring that on there. And I know she's been through some stuff too when it all falls down, and she's just been able to stay up. Also, just want to before you give your last comments, Frankie, a shout out to Y22 Development Center. Mommy Ife, Mama Nikiwe has this development center, African Senate educational program over in Park Heights. They are approaching their 10 years. They've been in business for 10 years. Is the African Center Education. I've talked about them previously as well on my show. I'm very impressed. They start from infants to 5 years old. I'm telling you, the kids be talking Swahili, American Sign Language, Spanish, all of that. And then they also teach them about our history. So it's African Center. You know what I mean? They make sure they give them a good, nutritious diet for them, teach them more than just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They really, really teach them. I mean, you would be impressed. You gotta check them out. She definitely, they have a site online, but they coming up on that 10-year celebration and they are having a fundraiser. It is next weekend. I think you got to get the tickets, do the Evite, what's your name? When I get over here, I'm going to share something again too on my Facebook page. So come out and support. They also have packages as well, sponsors. So come on through and help Y22, the Y22 up at the Y22 Development Center. If anybody don't know, the Y22 means children, right? Future. Up there and celebrate that 10 years of greatness, because I'm telling you, they're going to keep on going strong. And I know in the future, it's just going to keep on expanding. Baba Imhotep has opened up his weekend school. Originally started for boys, but it's boys and girls now too. So anything African centered, just like I said, when we begin to know more who we are, who we truly are, we can really be all we can be. So Frankie, what's your last words for the people? We on 3-minute countdown.
Well, like I say, just always think big as you can. You know, whatever plan you got, write it down. An unwritten plan is hard to follow. Write it down and just execute it one step at a time. You're gonna get to the bottom or the top, you know, regardless of how long it takes, as long as you get it done.
That's right. You already done. Think big. Have a big vision. It's just like he said, you can't have a big vision talking to small-minded. That's all it is, talking to small-minded people. Is always going to be a naysayer that's going to tell you can't do it. And the more you use them people for validation and telling you can't do it, you'll begin to say that to yourself. So like I say, when the negative thoughts come into your mind, replace them with like 3 positive thoughts. Find that silver lining, because regardless of what, you still blessed. I'm telling you, every day, God wakes you up with a sound body and mind, then you got it going on. I'm trying to tell you, if you wake up in the morning, as soon as you open your eyes, you know what's going on and you conscious, baby, that's the first blessing of the day. Yep. That's the ultimate blessing of the day, because you didn't know you were asleep till you woke up, right? Then you got this consciousness, your brain start to move and telling you what to do. Get up, go to the bathroom, get dressed, get ready, boom, 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 boom. So the sky is not the limit. Trust in God, always have faith in God, y'all, and anything that you got your mind set to do, if I can encourage you, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. It might have been something that was many, many years ago that you thought about, an idea. You want to start a business. You're going to have a whole bunch of challenges. I already shared that. They don't be wanting to give us Black folks nothing. A lot of us Black folks, we be hustling to get what we want and whatever. So that's just another whole part of your testimony or whatever. But just keep going, guys. Don't never give up. And when everybody else turn their back on you, you keep showing up for you. Ain't nobody got to show up. Frankie said that a couple of times too. Like if it's 5, it's 10 or whatever. But the most important thing is that you keep on showing up for yourself and knowing that God loves you, God blesses you, and He is on your side. Make sure you come back with me next week, y'all. I got a guest. I'm going to come a little bit before the show on Thursday to let you know exactly who that is and who we're going to be talking about. But you already know everything I'm talking about you're going to be living for. It's your news, our views, and you're going to catch me right here next Thursday, the Empress ChasReal Lady Cake Mix, right here, some of y'all. Come back, 7 to 9. You better live. We up out of here. Thanks.